So you've got a Canon M50 camera and you're thinking about lenses. What kind of lenses can you use on that camera? Remember that Canon EF-M has its own lineup of lenses. It's a mirrorless camera, small camera. These are all EFS lenses, so they're actually a different mounting system. You can buy adapters where you can put EFS lenses onto your mirrorless camera, but that can get expensive. You might have to buy a really fancy camera or an adapter or something in between. But what I'll show you now is a few lenses that are easy to buy, relatively decent priced, to give your mirrorless camera a bit of a oomph. So the first one I'm going to show you here is an EF-M 22mm lens. It is a compact system. You can see it's nice and thin, and being 22mm, it lets in a little bit more light. It's an f2 aperture lens, which basically means you're getting in more light, so you can get a nice blurry background, nice sharp depth of field, and it's a nice good view, similar to the human eye. So like as if you're standing next to someone, you can take a photograph and it look relatively in dimensions. That's one option. What else could you do? Well, if you're more into further away photography, so if you're doing like a wildlife or you're out and about on a holiday, the EF-M 18 to 150mm 3.5 to 6.3 is a good option. If you're using that camera in multiple ways, there's nothing wrong with having a zoom lens on a small camera to be able to get those further away shots, and you'll find in daylight it'll perform very well. So if you're out and about taking daylight photographs, it'll work perfectly for you. If you're in lower light situations, then the first lens we looked at, the 22mm, will give you a good starting point. What else have we got? Well, the kit lens that comes with the camera is actually quite decent. The 15 to 45 is a good range. It's similar to like the cameras where we have the 24 to 70, because that's like a good range to be in to have most shots for like slightly telephoto and slightly wide. And that is a 3.5 to 6.3. It's got image stabilization, so you can do handheld video as well, which will be very good. And that is, I don't think people talk as much about the kit lenses. When we say kit lens, I mean the lens that comes with the camera. That's basically what they refer to as a kit lens, but that is a solid option. Between these lenses, having the 22mm, having the 18 to 150, and having your kit lens 15 to 45, you're covering a large spectrum. What about if you want a bit more blurry background like I've got here, and you want it to be a bit more sharp and a bit more live stream video cinema type situation? Well, you have got another option for you, and that would be something like this beauty. So a Sigma 16mm, nice wide option, 1.4 lens, and this is an EF-M mount. So this is like a bit more specialist, but it is a lens that you can use on your camera to get a nice wide view with a bit of blurry background. If you've got the money, definitely worth having a look at it. $369.99. It is 41% off at the moment, so it is a lower price than normal, which gives you a good idea of the types of lenses you can look at. But did you know there are additional options? What about if you want to go a bit funky? How about a Canon 12mm f2 lens? Yeah, it's for the EF-M lens. So that's not a bad option. So that kind of gives you that idea of that lens. But what about if you've got existing lenses and you want to mount those existing camera lenses you've already got onto your mirrorless camera? Well, that is an option. I'll show you something that will allow you to. So because I do have a number of other Canon lenses, it might actually work out better for me to pick up an adapter. What an adapter allows you to do is you put it between your lens and your other camera. So I can use my EFS lenses on my mirrorless camera by having an extra adapter there. So Viltrox make a good adapter. It's priced at about $156, and it allows you to use your EFS lenses on your EF-M mount camera. So things like the M50, M200, M6, M5, all those mirrorless small compact cameras that we like so much for their ease of carry and use. So you can see here, it basically screws on and allows you to screw on your EF-M lens. So there's a few options there to basically get you sorted out for lenses. So if you're thinking about going on holiday, you can pick up the zoom lens that we talked about. If you're planning to shoot in lower light situations, darker days, evenings when it's like winter time, the 22mm f2 will be a great lens. So all these give you more flexibility, and the EF-M lenses do work very well. And we can use a Canon camera for live streaming as well. The M50 works well for live streaming. If you haven't seen that, you can watch this and have more information about that, and I'll see you on that video.